99% of humanity had had something done to their brains, and only a few people in the world knew exactly what. Westerfeld 2005. In a world where beauty is determined by governmental power, all that is left is the promise to become pretty one day. At the age of 16, everyone gets a mandatory cosmetic surgery in order to reach societal beauty standards, allowing the book Uglies to convey the contemporary concept of beauty through an individual's changing appearance. Throughout the novel, the agonizing picture is painted when they grind and stretch your bones to the right shape, peel off your face and rub all your skin away, and stick in plastic cheekbones so you look like everybody else. Westerfeld 2005.
The first public facelift was performed in 1931 and became a lifesaver for people struggling with physical deformities. As technology advanced, it was possible for plastic surgeons to adjust women's shape and sizes to achieve perfection. Breast enhancement, facial rejuvenation, and body contouring had an increasing demand within the public eye. But it's a trick. You weren't born expecting that kind of beauty in everyone all the time. You just got programmed into thinking anything else is ugly. Westerfeld 2005. The increasing political controversy within the United States in the late 1990s aroused directors around the nation. In 2003, ABC TV asked the American Society of Plastic Surgeons to participate in the reality series Extreme Makeover, which quickly became a floodgate to many other TV shows and caused a 32% increase in plastic surgeries within 1 year. This, along with the third feminism wave, became important to Westerfeld, who was born in a time period where people were separated solely based on skin color. Growing up in Texas and New York City, he not only experienced an immense amount of diversity, but he also witnessed an unfair society towards women. Through marches and protests, women fought for gender equality and strengthened their voices towards civil issues to end violence and obtain acceptance. It is this continuous battle that is still being fought today that caused Westerfeld to question his understanding of reality and existence through his writing to reveal a divided society with shallow ideals of perfection.
So what if people are more alike now? It's the only way to make people equal. Westerfeld 2005. Throughout his other works, including the rest of the Uglies series, Pretties, Specials, and Extras, along with his Leviathan trilogy, Westerfeld has been able to convey the dangers of a government with complete control. Within his other novels, anecdotes of previous times such as World War II are used to portray the need for a society to stand beside their values. Maybe the reason war and all that other stuff went away is that there are no more controversies, no disagreements, no people demanding change. Just masses of smiling pretties and a few people left to run things. Westerfeld 2005. By comparing a previous life to a utopian society, Scott Westerfeld meticulously allows the reader to think about the importance of freedom and the rejection of limited rights. Through his third-person point of view and descriptive but direct style, Westerfeld is able to convey the importance in maintaining true to oneself. Through the representation of the white tiger orchids, the author symbolizes the selfish and unstoppable thoughts of Tally's society. About 300 years ago, some Rusty figured a way to engineer the species to adapt to wider conditions. She messed with the genes to make them propagate more easily. Westerfeld 2005. Since Tally's society doesn't allow others to expand their beliefs and ideals, the government gracefully contains everyone's thoughts by conducting the surgery. By creating this surgery, the government was able to make an equal species that populates to become one kind and take over everything else, much like the white tiger orchids. Maybe it was a rusty weapon that got out of control. Maybe it was people in some poor country who didn't like the way the Rusties ran things. Maybe it was just an accident, like the flowers, or some lone scientist who wanted to mess things up. Westerfeld 2005. Whatever this was, Westerfeld is trying to warn us of the consequences that arise when one accepts the ideals of a utopian society.
During their surgery, lesions are made on the brain to alter a person's mentality. The lesions aren't an accident. It's part of the way being pretty changes you. Westerfeld 2005. They abandon their independent thinking and therefore also abandon their individuality. But the worst damage is done before they even pick up the knife. You're all brainwashed into believing you're ugly. Westerfeld 2005. All of the people within this utopian society willingly have the operation, causing the reader to question the unwillingness of individuals to accept themselves for who they truly are. Many seriously oppose the society's deception and choose to leave the city and go to the smokes. Among these people is Shay, an adventurous, hardworking ugly who enjoyed not following her society's rules. Due to her inability to remain ugly and true to herself, she runs to the smokes, but her conflicting character causes her to be hesitant on leaving Tally and going by herself. As she encounters the rusty ruins, this becomes a representation of life before the city, a world that is now destroyed because of governmental power. This recurring allegory becomes symbolic throughout the novel to represent the life we live in today. Westerfeld tries to warn the reader of the consequences that a government with complete control has on an individual.
David, the son of the two cosmetic surgeons who founded the Smokes, is an ugly himself who helps others escape from the city. It was through his determination and collaboration towards his family that others were able to escape the harsh rejection of their utopian society. Those that chose to go into the Smokes have scarred hands after a couple of days, representing the efforts and struggles they have gone through in order to escape from the dangers of conformity. When people conform, much like in the city, the scarred hands on each individual disappears. As the book comes to an end, Westerfeld shows the irony of saving yourself by giving yourself in, once again going back to the amount of control that the government has on a society.
I live in a world where beauty is defined by words like tall, skinny, thin, flawless, where beauty is not being normal for my own body type. I must fit into a body type that only a very small percentage of the population possesses. I have been taught by the media that it is not okay to look like I do. It is not beautiful to have pores or scars that tell stories. Revel in the beauty of flaws instead of getting plastic surgery for someone else's idea of beauty. When we give into these ideals, we are losing pieces of ourselves, and eventually there won't be anything left. Coat, 2014. I'm Tally Youngblood. Make me pretty.